What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is and we are the VertCoin Core. Today is September 7th, 2021. Do be sure to smash that like, leave a comment below, and of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Right now, looking at a market cap of 33 million, just under 34. Volume 934,000. Circulating supply 61,661,000 VertCoin. Currently looking at a price of 55 cents, 1,174 satoshis against a Bitcoin value of 46,798 United States fiat. Sliding into the charts, I don't have to be the one to tell you that we are suffering from a major dip right now. Suffering, is that the right word? I don't think so. If you're a VertCoin holder, I don't think you even know suffering anymore. Facts. Anyways, so we're having a bit of a dip today. Ever since El Salvador started accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, the market, I guess, just decided to sell the news, and here we are. Big deal, whatever. And of course, you know, there's the World Bank stuff and everything like that. You know, they're upset at them or whatever. Screw it, it'll work itself out. We'll get there. This is early adoption. Early adopters always get frowned upon. You know, everybody always says you're crazy, so don't worry about that. El Salvador is just going through that right now, and they just bagged a whole bunch more Bitcoin on the dip. So how can you be upset about that? Anyway, so I wasn't gonna make this video today. but then I woke up to the price action and I was like, dude, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But then as the day went on, I realized, you know what, you guys deserve it. I was gonna do a very like a pretty bullish video yesterday while the prices were up, you know, to kind of launch things a little bit further. And you know, so when I woke up to today's price action, I was like, nah, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I shouldn't do so bullish of a video. But nah, screw that, man. Screw that. We have every reason to be bullish right now. Every reason. And so here you go. You got it coming. So as you can see here in the charts, we are still, regardless of all of this craziness, we're still trending sideways ever since breaking out of this pair of descending wedge formations here. All right, we did have that little bit of volatility here a couple weeks ago. We had a little bit of a pump, you know, a little hump, if you will, and we're still going sideways. We had this, we were up significantly yesterday, a good bit. I think we got almost all the way up to 1,500 satoshis, and you know, we had the sell-off today. But look, we're still pretty much at the same support level. We dipped a little bit below it. In fact, we dipped a little bit below it before all of this craziness, before we started trending upward here. And now this dump has just brought us right back down to it. I don't think that this is going to continue. I think this is going to be a very short-lived buying opportunity. And enjoy, you know, take that for what it's worth. Another thing is, here we see the 50 moving average is currently below the 200. I did change this from the 144 to the 200 in case you're wondering. So right now this is the 50 below the 200. So right now we are in a bit of a bearish trend. So that's cool. Basically all this means to me is that at any given moment we're ready to blast through this. We'll blast through this, we'll form a bullish cross, and then from there, sky's the limit. Keep that in mind. Another thing here is the wicks. I want to talk about these wicks. VertCoin has been undervalued for so long that you always get these wicks upwards. And because of the low volume and the tendency people have to want to trade it, we kind of have a tendency to stay low in price. But these wicks, to me, like I tend to look at them like outstretched arms. You know what I mean? Hands reaching upward for higher price action. Higher or lower depending on which way the wicks are facing. If there's support holding the price up and the price is trying to go lower, you'll see these wicks reaching down, and that's going to be a good indicator that the price is eventually going to break through that support and go downward. But in VertCoin, we have so many wicks reaching upwards, extreme, huge wicks reaching upward, and right now is no different. We have tons of wicks reaching upward, And just as all of this is starting to level out against Bitcoin, I think this is all very indicative of higher price action to come. Here we are. We've just completed the first week of September. All right, so given that, we still have just under 4 months of the year left. So to start, you guys know that I've been talking about this red line here. I've drawn it in at 4,000 Satoshis. I think when this thing finally blows, guys, we're going to obliterate this line. All right, we may pause for the cause at 4,000 Satoshis as we acknowledge this previous high here, but that's it. We're going to keep cruising. So with that, let me draw your attention to this green line that I've drawn in here. I don't know how long I've had this drawn in, but I don't think I've ever gotten around to explaining it to you guys. There is another line that I have in a different chart that we'll talk about at some point. But for right now, I want to focus on this one. And basically what this does is it brings us back to what I consider to be the bottom in terms of VertCoin versus Bitcoin. And we'll look at a couple of other comparisons and we'll see very similar price action against other coins. But see, if we look here, this is why I'm referring to it as the bottom. Here, right about ironically, right around the time that I started this channel is what I consider to be the ultimate bottom for VertCoin against Bitcoin. It's never been this low before, and I don't think it's ever gonna go that low again. So right here at the beginning of January, we were right around, geez, is that 500 Satoshis? Guys, that's 500 Satoshis. All right, so basically I've drawn a trajectory line here across the peaks of each one of these pumps. And that's what this green line here is. And just to show you guys that the same price action exists against other coins, I have CoinGecko set to show us VertCoin against Litecoin, and I've also taken the opportunity to add in Ethereum. So Ethereum is the red line here in the chart, against Litecoin is the blue line. All right, so we can see here that going back to the beginning of January 3rd, I think that was the day I dropped my first video. So going back here, we can basically draw a line across this top, and on, right? That's a pretty straight line. Same thing with Ethereum, across all these tops, bam. All right, so if we were to continue this line, it gives us a good illustration of where we could expect VertCoin to fall across all these currencies. Not just Bitcoin, but against Litecoin and Ethereum, which are the two major coins that I like to compare VertCoin to. So now we're going to jump over here and look at VertCoin against USD. I didn't really reset this, and you know what? I don't really need to. We're fine here, because if you can see, I drew in the same green line that comes here back to January, crosses all these tops, and continues on forward. All right. So if we were looking at Bitcoin here, we'd be looking at a rise here. We'd be shooting through that 4,000 Satoshi level and coming up here to meet this line here. All right, but we are looking at this against USD, and you can see that if you were to come straight up here, if tomorrow was the day and we just started going parabolic, it's not out of the question over the next couple of days or so. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but let's just say we did. If we did blast through any resistance that we might encounter on the way to this line, we could expect to find ourselves just under or right at about $6 by the end of it. If we step back and look at this again against Bitcoin, here you see if this were to happen right now, we'd smash through this 4,000 Satoshi level and find ourselves just under 9,000 Satoshis. All right, and the longer this takes to play out, the higher we could potentially see ourselves going once this does go. For us to get up to this line, 8,000, 9,000 Satoshis, looking at it now, zoomed out, does this look weird at all? Does this look strange? Does this look outrageous or out of the question? Not at all. Not even a little bit. It looks highly probable if you ask me. Now keep in mind, this video is called How High Can Vertcoin Go in 2021? Not necessarily how high do I think it'll go. But if we're looking at this on the high end, how high do we think it can potentially go this year? Realistically, that's not wishful thinking or any of that hopium crap. I don't deal with it, all right? Realistically, how high can Vertcoin go by the end of this year? I'm going with $22. That's right, $22. And I'm going to back all this up. So right now, if we were to rise to this level against Bitcoin, this green line here against BTC right now, today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, I've got us at 8,500 Satoshis. All right, there it is, 8,500 Satoshis. That's at Bitcoin's current value of 50K, $4.25. If we were to shoot up against Litecoin and meet that trajectory right now, we'd be falling in at 0.175 Litecoin. Right now, we're at 0.002 Litecoin, 0.003 if you will. So that would bring us up to just under $4.50. Against Ethereum, same thing. I had to do some crazy stuff here to get the numbers, but right here you can see 0.0024, all right, which would bring us to $9.60. Against USD, following the trajectory that we're at now, let me go ahead and show you guys this. Against USD, if we were to pump right away, $5.60, just under $6. All right, and what do I have it at on here? 581. All right, cool. So we're good there. So that's just coming up to meet the lines, the trajectories that are already in place. Now, if we were to drag this out to the end of the year, Bitcoin, if it were to stay at the same price level, the same 50K that it's at right now, roughly, if we drag it out to the end of the year, we come to 12,000 Satoshis. Okay, so again, I did the same thing with Litecoin, Ethereum, dragged it all the way out, and here's what I came up with. If Litecoin was $250, as it was yesterday, we'd come to 0.025 Litecoin, which would be $6.25 against Ethereum at $4,000 per ETH at the end of the year. If we were to follow the same trajectory, it's $14 against the dollar. Drag that all the way out, $8.50. This is already pretty bullish because, as I showed you guys before, it's not far-fetched. You guys know $8.50 isn't even all-time high. It's not even close. By comparison, plenty of other coins are already at those levels. So, Bitcoin, if it continues on its own trajectory, which this isn't even just me guessing on how high it's going to go. I mean, sure, it kind of is, but I'm not the only one that's calling for this kind of price here. All right, so that gives even more credence to the idea that all of this is very valid. So here is the end of the year, and people have been calling for 100K, 120K Bitcoin, which is in alignment with this trajectory. All right, so it's making a line of its own. So if Bitcoin were to go to $120,000 and Vertcoin were still to go to 12,000 Satoshis, which it's looking like it very well may, that would bring us to a $12 Vertcoin, all-time high. Litecoin, same thing. If it follows its own current trajectory and gets to $800 and we still get to 0.025 Litecoin, that's $20. Ethereum, people are calling for 10K. I've got it at 8. If we still get to 0.0036 Ethereum, it's $29. All right, I'm only calling for 22. Is 29 possible? People are calling for 30. People have already been calling for 30 before I did any of this. Very well possible. Again, easy. I hope all of this has made sense. I invite anyone, all of you out there, to take these numbers, come up with your own, follow the trajectories. Follow the expected trajectory of Bitcoin to 100, 120, 150K. All right. I didn't even go for that high. People are calling for 150, 180K. I'm stopping at 120. All right. But still following VertCoin's trajectory against Bitcoin. And guys, if you think me calling for 1,200 Satoshi, or rather 12,000 Satoshis on VertCoin is crazy, just look at Litecoin. At a low, 450,000 sats. Same supply, same functionality, same source code. Only Litecoin gave up its ASIC resistance years ago. That's right, Litecoin, if you didn't know this, Litecoin used to be ASIC resistant. They gave that up. They folded. Charlie Lee sold all of his Litecoin at the top in 2017, 2018. It's not a good look. You're not going to see that from VertCoin. I've started talking about the idea that VertCoin could eventually overtake Litecoin. You may think I'm crazy now, but it can be done. There's absolutely no reason why it can't. VertCoin has stayed true from day one. We've gained a lot of popularity here. Litecoin is losing popularity. We may not be where we want to be yet, but we're getting there as a community. And we're well on our way to cannibalizing a lot of Litecoin's popularity and market cap. It's going to be a great day when we finally flip Litecoin. When all this balances out and cryptocurrencies are worth what they're really worth for what they are and what they do, I believe that VertCoin will rank higher than Litecoin. That's just the way I see it. More on that later. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, you guys. That's all really I wanted to say. This has been kind of a rough, kind of off the cuff video. Full disclosure, I'm getting a little orthodontic work done tomorrow, so I wanted to get this video out while I'm still intelligible. I've actually got some ribs getting ready to go out on the grill because I won't be able to eat them for the next 1.5 to 2 years. So, hey, it's a journey I'm looking forward to. So, you guys we'll see what I sound like the next time I put a video out. And you might notice the QR code down in the lower left-hand side of your screen. That is my VertCoin receiving address. If you feel so inclined, I'd be very much obliged. I appreciate any donations y'all want to send this way. And I hope you guys are enjoying the gradually improving quality of this channel. Again, you'll have to forgive me for this one, very off the cuff. I just really wanted to get this out to you guys. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Do be sure to smash the like, comment below, and of course, subscribe if you have not done so already. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next one. VertCoin Core, out.